Hi, Art One. So I'm not here, obviously, at school unexpectedly. So we're going to take a break from our current assignment. When I come back, we'll take care of that. But what you need to know is that the sketch journal assignment for this 9 weeks is already on Schoology. So if you found this video, chances are you either found it in your email or you found it in Schoology. But on the off chance you have found it in Schoology, as always, you're going to go to the 9 weeks file folder button. You're going to go to the second 9 weeks and you're going to see a black file folder called Sketch Journal 3. So in there, you're going to see the actual assignment in paper form that would have been handed out to you, but you can read it obviously, and then the rubric on how you're being graded, which is also on the paper form as well. So let's take a look at it, for example, in some examples. So let me enlarge this for a minute. So the assignment is called A Chair Fit for a Queen. Big lesson here. I want you to show me that you can draw in perspective. In other words, showing depth so that an object looks to have form, three-dimensionalism. So you've been practicing three-dimensional forms. You've been practicing cubes and spheres and cones. So I want you to do research on a favorite type of chair. That chair should reflect someone important in your life. So my example, which I'll share with you when I come back, is on my dad. My dad has survived 3 different types of cancer and has had lots of time to rest while he's been getting those different treatments. And so I made a chair for him, a sort of a lazy boy chair that has all these special features, including hidden places to keep his iPad, a sign that says closed when the footrest is up so he can nap. And you can see these examples of chairs that were designed by Art One students last year. So you'll see the largest one is sort of a royal sort of chair, and it has bunny ears. So if you saw the entire paper, you would see that person wrote about how Easter was that person's favorite particular holiday. So you can see the carrots and the turnips that are on there. You can see that they put plaid on the chair, and you can see all kinds of other detailings. And then the other two chairs down below as well. So the first thing you should do is research chairs. So type in types of chairs on Google and look up different types. You'll see if you type in history of chairs, types of chairs, or anything like that, you're going to see all kinds of different options. So find one that relates to someone who's important in your life. So that can be someone you know personally, like, for example, I chose my dad, or it could be someone you don't know personally, but you've always admired. So it could be a celebrity, it could be a sports hero, it could be someone who's done good deeds for our community or our country. You decide, but the chair should be reflective of that. Keep in mind that you will write about that chair in the background and tell me a little bit about why you designed the chair the way that you did. It must be three-dimensional in correct perspective. So you should be able to draw a form. So I would start with a cube. Since most chairs are cube based, the only one on my example here that isn't cube based is the 60s egg chair. You can see that in the bottom corner. That egg chair, obviously, they started with a sphere type or oval type egg shape and then shaded it accordingly. And again, it needs to have full value and you need to do thorough research. So let's break down the rubric that's running along the far right side. Met the challenge. Did you follow all of the directions? Is it in color, the chair in the background? Is it in correct 1 point perspective? By the way, if you know 2 point perspective and you're comfortable with that, you certainly may do 2 point perspective, but all I'm expecting is 1 point perspective, like a simple cube. It must have a cast shadow. You'll notice the egg chair doesn't have a cast shadow. That's important, so they didn't get full credit for that. So a shadow underneath the chair, just look like it's sitting on the ground, and it must have a written response in the background. Normally, we would do that in class together as our sort of warm-up activity, but if you want to take the time to do that in your journal now, you can. You need to have the elements and principles of design. So choose a good color scheme that relates to your person that you've selected. Make sure that it has really good line weight. You'll notice that the rabbit chair has beautifully outlined Sharpie so that the line weight shows. But in both cases, or in all the cases, you can see shading and value, which is important. You can see form. They feel three-dimensional. They've even very smartly used texture. So you can see that the fabric on all of the chairs um, or the wood that's carved on the chair feels very textured. The small brown chair is actually has a violin in the back of it because this person was someone who taught them the violin or the strings instruments, and so they wanted to honor that person. And of course, sustained problem solving. Basically, did you spend the time to work at it so that it looks finished and it's responsibly completed and it doesn't look half finished? And I think we all know by now what that means. And of course, the written response exists and it's highly reflective of the work. You didn't just give me one quick sentence. You told me all of the things why you selected the person. You gave me maybe a little bit of background on the person. Be specific. So hopefully that gives you some insight. If you would like to put it on a separate piece of paper, the chair, because you plan on doing the background in the sketch journal, similar to what we did on the very first inside the journal entry, you can find white paper either under the window in the classroom. You'll see a white drawer that is filled with white drawing paper. Feel free to take it from there. You could carefully cut out one page out of your journal, or you might find some with my substitute. One of those three locations, but you want to draw the chair, I would suggest on a separate sheet of paper. Eventually, I will give you an X-Acto knife or a pair of scissors, and you can cut it out and put it in the background. So hopefully that helps you out. Notice that it's due December 17th. You can work on it today in class. I'll take questions when I return, and hopefully it's a great day for you. See you soon.